YouTube, what up? So I'm back. I wanted to try something different tonight. Now, the title of this video sets us up to discuss why you're literally becoming poorer by saving money. Now, that's a profound statement, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. To keep it a buck, I'm talking to myself when I state that. Now, over the years, I've made a lot of money, I've spent a lot of money, and I've also saved a lot of money, but I have yet to make a sound investment that allowed my money to work for me. And that's where this sentiment is coming from. Now, to help you guys understand where I'm going with this, let's talk about the traditional financial system. Most people can understand the idea of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. And that's not a mistake. That is by design. And most people like to think that's a bug in the system. The system was created to do just that. And that brings me to my next point. It's not so much a wealth gap, it's an education gap. What the rich people know that poor people don't know is that the dollar becomes devalued over time. Now, I want to elaborate on that point a little bit just so I can make sure we're on the same page. If I were to give you $100 today and you put it in your bank account, 5 years from today, that $100 will buy you less goods and services than it could from when you first put it in your bank account. And why is that? The reason why is because over time, there's inflation. The price of cars, the price of houses, the price of food, all goes up in expenses. While that $100 still remains in your bank, it's still going to buy you less goods and services, as I stated before. So hopefully you guys can understand that concept. It's pretty simple. It shouldn't take too much brain power, but I did want to make sure I clarify that point. So rich people know this already, and this goes back to my point about the education gap. Rich people are not going to hold on to dollars that keeps losing value. They're going to take that money and they're going to invest it into real estate, into stocks and bonds, into many other investable assets. And one thing about America is that the bottom half of America doesn't have a single investable asset. And that's myself included. I don't own a single asset that's going to appreciate in value over time. Now, I'm attempting to change that. I've invested $20,000 of my hard-earned money into 2 professional real estate gurus who are teaching me about this whole multifamily thing. And my goal is to have 50 to 100 doors by the end of this year. Now, we'll see how that goes given the current state of the economy and interest rates and everything else. But I don't want to make this video about that because it's not about that. So let's get back to the topic at hand. Now, when you have the government printing money, giving stimulus checks, they're literally devaluing the dollar and making it worth less and less over time. Now, I do want to touch on a quick point. I was talking to a friend about all of this, and they brought up the question, doesn't my money earn interest while it's sitting in the bank? And that's very true. The money does earn interest while it's sitting in the bank account. But what happens is if you invest $100, the bank is going to immediately take that money and give you an IOU, and they're going to lend it out on the back end. Now, they are going to make money on the money that you have sitting in the bank. And what they do is they give you a very, very, very small percentage of that back end. And that's what they call interest. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Yes, the bank does pay you money in the form of interest, but they don't pay you enough money to beat out inflation, which happens at about 2%. Now, this takes us full circle back to the title of the video. If you sit your money in a savings account, you're getting fucked by the financial system, and there's no other way to put it. So that's why you want to start to try to wrap your mind around getting into investments. And if you got a little bit of money to invest, you know, not everybody's in a position to take money and invest it, but if you can, you should definitely leverage the opportunities out there. There are safe ways of investing your money, and I'm not here to tell you what you should invest your money in, but I'm just trying to explain and use my platform again responsibly and explain why you should be wrapping your mind around this idea of investing money. So I think that's a good place to leave it. Savers lose, investors win. You got to invest your money in order to protect your assets going forward. So if you guys, I would love to open up a discussion about this. If you guys got some feedback for me, leave it in the comments below. You know, I'm not an expert in this. I'm on this journey myself. So, you know, if you guys got some ideas, you can share them in the comments below. I would love to have that discussion. I will be trying to answer any and all questions that you guys leave. And I think that's going to be it, YouTube. You know the vibes. Until next time, be good or be good at it. I'm out.